Come one, come all. You are now plugged into The Ox, your weekly source of hip-hop, rap music, and everything underground. Roll yourself up something potent, pour yourself a drink, get yourself comfortable. We finna chill.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of The Ox Podcast. As always, it's your boy Stilo, aka OG Homunculus. We are out here, frigid as hell, snowed the fuck in, because apparently it's fucking day after tomorrow outside for everyone in North America. But yeah, we're here. I'm with Connie Roses and Kondracki. We're here, geeked, fucking chilling, cozy as hell now, I hope. How y'all doing today?
Well, I am geeked, and it's actually more like Snowpiercer outside. That's how I feel.
Real, actually, yeah.
Actually, more like Snowpiercer. If you feel.
I watched it last night. I was thinking about you, Crow. Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, it's fucking crazy, man. Like, it's I want to say it's record-breaking snowfall, right?
I mean,
up here for at least.
The whole city of Pittsburgh is shut down. Like, it's literally shut down. Like, we had 37 plow trucks last night shut down. Like, they can't run anymore. That's how bad it is.
Fucking hey, dude.
Yeah.
Yo, that shit's crazy, man. That shit is actually fucking crazy. I mean, shit, though. We're in the crib. We're doing what we can. We're stacking our bread, I hope. And that's all we can fucking hope for, bro.
I'm not stacking any bread right now.
Oh, yeah. Type.
I'm
type.
Nope. My shifts are canceled. We're coming here. This brand of negativity is here, man. We're not. There's no bread to be. There's vibes, plenty of vibes right now.
Yeah, for sure.
No. Kevin worked at Kondracki worked today. Kev worked today.
They got me working. They got me working from home today. They're gonna have me working from home tomorrow. They closed the office for tomorrow. I live by myself on the side of a mountain. I'm going a little stir crazy, but just gonna make beats, get through it, all that stuff. Yeah.
Bro, trust me. If I wasn't in the city like last night, I totally would have been working from home, but I was like literally a 5-minute walk from my office. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. You know what I mean? And everyone called me insane for going into the office today because, like, low key, it is literally fucking Snowpiercer out there.
Was it just you? Was it quiet in there?
Much, yeah. Like, people.
I don't know about you. Oh, sorry. I don't know about you. I don't know what like line of work you're in necessarily, but I know when I work from home, like, I'm just always like, oh, you know what I've never done? I've never dusted the air vents. Like, I should just do that right now while I'm supposed to be working. Like, you know what I've never done? I've never pulled out the refrigerator and, like, vacuum behind.
Yeah, totally. On slow days, for sure, like, I'll just be fucking chilling out and be like, you know what? Let me get a can of pressurized air and get the dust out from my ceiling. I work in the insurance industry, and low-key January is like actually fucking hell because everyone's renewing. So I've been like locked the fuck in recently, but totally, if I'm working from home, bro, I'm hanging out. Like, I'm making beats on the side, low-key, like if we're slow, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, totally. But bro, I tell you, I want to say I was the only motherfucker in the office today, other than like the president of the company. And I was just like, well, I'm a good employee, I guess. Like, fuck it. Anyways, we're here to talk about music. As per a little tradition of my show, I always like asking my guests, what have y'all been listening to recently?
Knew this question was coming.
Oh yeah.
So I need to pull out my Spotify artists, and I'm sorry to everybody. I'm still using Spotify. I apologize.
I paid for the year before I found out them niggas was funding fucking drones of war and shit. I'm like, bro, like, listen, man, I'm
I paid for the year is too funny.
Yeah, like, and I'm locked in, man.
If it makes it up to anyone, like, I'm on Bandcamp constantly buying obscure house music. Okay, I'm at least doing that. I'm at least okay, $5 a month to NPR.
Yeah,
one house track on Bandcamp a day. Be out here complimenting people in Aldi grocery lines. Like,
We're
I'm
balancing
trying.
the ethical music consumption with the evil that is
Yeah.
the fucking Spotify corporation. You
Which
know?
I think kind
That's
of gets into some of the themes of
the
absence and
album.
persistence, which
Yeah, it
we'll
does.
get to later.
Full
It
circle, baby.
does.
Full fucking circle. You see how we're doing it here? We're doing it different today, bro.
Yeah.
Type shit. Yeah.
I can go first, Crow.
Yeah, you go first.
As far as like kind of bigger records that people like would recognize, like the new Rock Marciano album, 656.
Yeah.
Can't stop, like just constantly going. I'm going back through and listening to a lot of Nicholas Craven's discography, especially anything he did before like his first link up with Boldy James, like because obviously everything since then has gotten so popular, but he's been making incredible beats for a really long time.
Totally.
And then like some lesser known stuff that I just kind of want to shout out. My good friends from Philly, they're called Not Fall. They're kind of like shoegaze, post hardcore, shit like that. Their stuff is really good. And then there's a fantastic hardcore band from Pittsburgh called Pain Clinic. And every time,
those guys are
they're the
fucking
best.
killer, dude.
Every time I have to pick up something heavy, I'm listening to a Pain Clinic song. Like I'm in the gym, I was out shoveling, I was listening to Pain Clinic. Yeah, they're the best and they're really good guys. I see them around the city all the time. Wyatt's like an awesome DJ. Ty is just like the nicest dude. Yeah, those are good guys.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. And see, that's ethical music consumption as well. Like it's in the community. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, we love that. We love that, dude.
Yeah, local in terms of local music too in Pittsburgh, Jayhawk and Billy Hoyle are two Pittsburgh artists that just dropped. Was it last month, Kev? It was like last month, right? 2 months
it was like
ago?
end of December, I think it came out.
Yeah, really great album. You should totally check it out. We're gonna do a show with them in March. With this Milwaukee rapper Blacks, who's really dope.
Sweet.
But that album was dope. In terms of like stuff that's like notable this year for any listener, the new Navy Blue was really, really helpful. And like I listened to the new Navy Blue a lot, and it was helpful. Like as an artist, it was helpful to study it for like purposes of tone and mood and how to build a lot of environments. And I mean, Child Actors production was definitely a large, and the mixing on that was definitely a large capacitor for why that album had so much breadth to it, and also just the delivery of lines and the writing was really great. The new Zayal Caps that dropped last year is so good. The fucking Ichiko Aoba album that dropped last year was fire. And then I've been listening to a lot of weird. Neonte was really good. Earl was really good. And then I listened to a lot of ambient music last year. I really
right on.
Yeah. There's a lot of really dope underground ambient musicians people need to check out that are like. You go listen to Motion Graphics 2016 release. It's beautiful. Some of the best stuff I've heard done with like use of synths and use of reverb and shit. Just really masterful stuff that not a lot of people are listening to. I'd go check that out for sure.
I have the memory of a goldfish. Please link that to me.
I'll send it to you. Yeah, I'll send it to you after this.
A lot of heads don't know. A lot of people think I just listen to hip hop. I'm a big ambient guy. Like a good, like
I love that.
You know what I mean?
I love that.
I've been getting into I don't really know if you can consider him ambient, but a lot of the old Brian Eno records, and I'm just having the fucking time of my life, dude. Like they're so good, man. Yeah, fuck yeah, right on. And that's what I love too about like talking to artists is a lot of these hip hop heads, like I would consider us all to be hip hop heads. We be listening to like different shit all over the place, and that is fucking beautiful. Quite frankly, I love it.
It's sample culture, man. It's
100%.
sample culture. Like, I got into world music because I was sampling it. Now I'm just listening to world music because world music. Like Milton Nascimento dropped a remastered album of his like 1975 release. On some really dope shit. I'll send you a link to that too. It's just I feel like sample culture has so much to do with why hip hop heads listen to all sorts of music like that.
Because what's beautiful about it is we could go on for hours, but like hip hop really is kind of like a crystallization of all of your tastes and the shit that you like put together into this one genre. You know what I mean? So yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I fucking love hip hop, man. So relatively getting back on track for any listeners of the Aux podcast who is not familiar with either of you guys, quick little introduction of who you are, the shit that you're about, the sound, the vibe, the sonics, everything like that.
Kev, you went first last time. You want me to go first?
No, you take it away.
All right. So I go by Connie Roses. I'm a rapper from Pittsburgh. I've been based in Pittsburgh since 2021. This is the first year. Well, 2025 was the first year I was good at rapping. So, very first year I was good at rapping. I made a lot of projects. A lot of my stuff is on Bandcamp. I like if I'm inspired by a lot of different artists. The modern ones is like the Navy Blue, the Earl, the Billy. Even though I don't listen to him a lot of Aesop, even though I don't really listen to much Aesop music. And then a lot of the older stuff is like a classical, like if Pitchfork ever hits us up and they're like, what's your 10? What's your 10? It's gotta be like B by Common. So like a lot of like lyrical, spiritual miracle stuff. Like that's the type of artist I am, but like a lot of blending of soul sounds, a lot of blending of R&B, and then a lot of abstract stuff. So like a lot of philosophy influenced things that kind of take me down that lane. So I'm just your typical underground rap listener.
Conscious indie rapper, man, like on that shit. And for what it's worth, for the work of yours that I am familiar with, like even before, like we just were talking off the strength. I went and listened to like Memories from My Stones and the little joint before this, like the little 7-pack, fucking What We Got to Offer Part 2. And like it's funny that you say like this is the first year that you're good at rapping. I know those technically released last year. Those are fucking crazy projects, man. Like they're really fucking good. And like I think maybe we're all just old heads, but I love that fucking lyrical miracle spiritual shit. You know what I mean? Like to me that is kind of the essence of hip hop in a way. So yeah, totally. And as for Kondracki, I was not familiar with you before we kind of got this project on the road. I went back and listened to a lot of your other. Sorry, let me let you introduce yourself. My bad, bro.
Yeah, cool. I'm Kev. I go by Kondracki. That's my last name. I'm a sample-based producer from Pittsburgh. My like musical story, I guess, is like I was in bands like punk bands, jam bands. I was in like a jam band like before COVID, and we were starting to get like a little bit buzz, and then COVID hit, shut down the band, shut down shows.
Yeah.
And I still had a lot of creativity, so I just started making beats. Got involved in like Discord and like learning stuff from people on the internet, working with people on the internet, and I've made a few beat tapes that are on Bandcamp. I've worked with some Discord artists. You can find me on Spotify, even though I don't have like a real page set up or anything. But that's kind of how I got here.
It's wild, man. It is. And I like as we were getting this set up, I went and listened to Sunday Scaries Volume 1, Madman, and Changes. And all of those are like super fucking ill as well. And like really makes a lot of sense as to like the sound that we're gonna get into with the album that we're gonna talk about. Y'all are doing some dope shit, man. And like I had no idea that Pittsburgh had a scene like this, you know what I mean? And like I had no idea that there were heads like out here like making good rap music, you know? So yeah, it's fucking sick, man. And like being introduced to both your guys' work, like it's fucking crazy. I probably should have asked this before. Y'all cool with me just pulling up the Untitled on the screen when we get into talking about this album?
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet. So we are here today, technically, to talk about your guys' upcoming release, Absence and Persistence, which is out January 30th, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No, it's out. So the single for it, Big Ugly Face, which drops this Friday,
Yes.
drops this Friday, and then Absence Persistence will drop the 17th of February.
17th, that's
So
the one. Okay,
we giving them an early talk into this,
Yeah.
which is good. I want people to be able to
Mhm,
hear us
mhm.
mouth out a bit before they get to
We
listen.
have some
Yeah.
music out right now, like Guide, the lead single from the project is on Spotify,
Yeah.
featuring the incredible Pittsburgh rapper Goots.
He's
Amazing.
so crazy. He's so
Amazing.
crazy.
He's so good.
Yeah.
He's the
He
truth. I've been
has a
saying it forever.
project on the way, and we're gonna push it. We're gonna do some crazy shit for him on that project.
Totally. And Connie, you sent me this record like 2-3 weeks ago, I want to say. And I've been doing a lot of listening, but I've really been sitting with this thing and like going back to it quite a bit. It is fucking crazy. It is a crazy album, dude. Like,
Thank you,
I
brother.
think you posted the video for Guide in my cursed ass Discord server, if I'm not mistaken, right?
yeah.
We don't even gotta talk about that.
Yeah.
But after I heard that, I was like, oh, like this is like my kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
Like this is the
mhm.
hip hop that I love, especially like, you know, that sample based production, the good raps, and like you be getting melodic with it, and like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And then being able to listen to this thing top to bottom, like it's still within that same lane, but there's a lot of cuts on here that have like a much different sound, and like y'all are doing like a whole lot of cool shit. Like we were talking a little bit about Rattlesnake, which you thought like people weren't really gonna vibe with at first. To me, that's one of my favorite cuts off the record. You know what I mean? And like, you guys just went fucking ballistic on this thing, and I am very excited to get into it. So, on a meta question, I always like asking just because, I don't know, I think it's funny. The title, Absence and Persistence, has kind of like a lot of meaning to it, I would imagine. The big thing for me is it's an album that talks a lot about, you know, isolation, being kind of, you know, in this crazy fucked up belly of this machine that's bleeding to death that we know as capitalism. Canvassed with like these crazy sounds and like this kind of like ever working machine of, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm fucking bullshitting right now.
No.
But
This
you know
is
what I'm trying to say, right?
I'm happy to hear your input on that because I want to hear what you have to say about it because it exists. The album title, like me and Kev probably spent a month sending each other stuff back and forth about this album title because we had to not just think of like because we have a philosophy behind the album. We have influences like Alfonso Cuarón, Mark Fisher. Like there are influences as to why we chose that name, as to what the name represents. So what you're saying is really important. I think you should just continue. Like
To me, especially in this day and age, like as we're all grown ass men, and it's kind of one of those things where life becomes increasingly difficult to navigate, especially in this digital era, especially in, you know, like fucking opening your phone and seeing kids in Gaza being fucking massacred. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, it kind of, to me, plays into that where we're simultaneously the most connected we've been at a species, but as a result, there's also a little bit of that disconnection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we are alone in this massive, sprawling, fucking crazy digital era. And I feel that this album kind of explores that a lot, where there's two sides to everything. There's positive, there's negative. And this album kind of explores both sides of those things. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's like the aim is. I'm going to say one thing, Kevin. You should take over because I know you have a lot to say about this. Especially, Kevin's actually way more educated. Even though I'm the writer for this album, Kevin's way more educated on the themes of this album.
Right on.
Absence and persistence. So like, we want people, whoever's listening to this, we want you to go into it, and we want to make sure that you understand it's a two-side album, and by the time you hit the middle, there's going to be a vibe shift, and dissect that, work through it, re-listen, understand why like there is that vibe shift, understand why it tonally changes. Like those things as an artist, it's kind of like how in a game, if you play like Fallout New Vegas, or you play like Dark Souls, the philosophy behind those games is that your world, and your lore affects your gameplay, and your gameplay affects your world and your lore, right? In the same way, the textures of the album work with the lyrics, and the lyrics work with the textures of the album, and they kind of shape up each other, and they kind of shape up the absence, the part, the we're all disconnected, and then the persistence, we're all connected, or the persistence is I'm surviving in a world that is increasingly fleeting. So I just want people I hope when they go into it, whoever does, and I'm grateful for you, that you take that perspective and then you kind of morph your own opinion with that context added in. Kevin, go ahead. I'm sorry. I had to.
That's great. No, I think you guys both are kind of nailing it. Like, so yeah, I think this album really came out of like Crow and I just kind of talking about philosophy as a whole. And I'm like a huge Mark Fisher head. Like, anyone's ever talked to me, like I'm kind of like laughing at how short it's been into the interview that I'm like getting a chance to talk about Mark Fisher. But Mark Fisher was this philosopher from the UK.
Yeah.
He passed away in 2017, and he wrote this book called Capitalist Realism.
Yes.
And that's essentially like, I think like the duality we're talking about is the duality of capitalist realism. It's this idea that like, yeah, like the world is set up in a way so that you can have instant gratification forever. Like, you'll never have to be bored. You'll never have to want anything. Like, you can always like find the thing that you need and get it delivered to you by a drone. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what I think about when I think about like this album is the idea of the lost future, and that's like what absence and persistence is.
One of
It's
our
like when you
main.
think about like sci-fi from the 50s, right? Like, they thought by like 2001 that we were gonna have people like on space stations like talking to haunted robots, like Space Odyssey type of stuff. And then when you get to 2001, like basically the closer you get to modern day, like the more dystopian we think the future is going to look. And I think that movie, Children of Men, like, which we like drop a few skits from on the record, like, I think that obviously had a huge impact on me, had a huge impact on Connie, and it really kind of speaks to this idea of like, yeah, the future like might not be that much different than right now, and like
Totally.
we have an absence of like hope, but we have to like persist through it, sort of. That's kind of where I think about the title.
Yeah, 100%. And all things considered, I think that's the vibe that you guys capture like fucking beautifully on this thing, because there are, really good feel good songs on it, like Guide, the single that we talked about. Even the opener has that kind of like, hopeful feeling. I don't want to spoil it too much for the people who haven't listened to this thing yet, but there is that noticeable kind of vibe shift midway through. And it really does go to speak on kind of this like what is the quote? Like, I'm in the belly of this machine and the machine is bleeding to death. You know what I mean? And
It's something like that. That's a good paraphrase for sure.
Yeah. Like, that's really what it feels like. You know what I mean? Like, Rattlesnake is the song that kind of sticks out to me in that sense, where like a lot of the shit that you're talking about and a lot of the sounds of it is just kind of like this, like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? Like this over encompassing.
When we were in the studio for that one, I just, a lot of the process was Kev sending me the beat, me going to the studio, just recording over it. Like, some of it would be us sitting together in his house writing, like maybe 2 or 3 songs I wrote with Kev there. A lot of it was just me running to the studio recording, and then Kev might be there later. And like when I did Rattlesnake and we had a practice right after for the show, he came and I was like, yo, like, what do you think? Like, because we love Billy Woods. There's no reason to not say this is entirely inspired by the style of Billy Woods, right? The thing that might differentiate it from Billy is that it is my story of being a child in Texas, and there's sex trafficking going on, there's drug trafficking,
Mhm.
and there's cops always at my house, and I'm killing animals because I'm like 4 or 5, and I'm watching my dad be a very violent person, so I'm kind of taking the same violence that he showed me, and
Mhm.
I'm transmuting it, or I'm transmitting it onto animals I don't really understand. But so that's, but
Mhm.
the point being made, so all those freaky things I just talked about and all that, whoa, Kev comes and he's like, you just play it, and we finish it, and he's like, are you okay? Like,
Shit.
are you okay, bro?
Shit.
Like, are
Yeah.
you okay? For real? Are you okay? Are you good?
But I
Yeah.
think that also goes to say, like, it's really important that music like this is being made, because these are all things that I feel everyone living in this day and age are kind of wrestling with. You know what I mean? And it's cool that you're doing it from like your lens, your perspective. It's one of those things where like you find that relatability in there, and you find that kind of feeling, that vibe, and like, yeah, I think it's really important music, you know? I think especially within this last couple of years, but last year especially, there's a few projects that really speak about this kind of thing. Like, I don't know if you guys listen to Sun Mundy and Sasko's Contacting, Everything Burns by Nakama, the Ratman Gavin and Lou joint Scrolling Through the Doom. Sorry. All of those albums and a lot of the hip hop nowadays, I think, is kind of exploring this like dystopian idea, but all things considered, we're kind of actively living through dystopia. You know what
Teller
I mean?
does the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
thing.
totally.
Color does the
On
same. And location and regions also, I feel like, huge in that. I mean, my story is from the country. It's from a rural area. Teller's from like Des Moines or
yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
shit. I'm not, like, I feel like geographically, stories that are getting told would have never gotten told 20, 30, even 15 years
Totally,
ago,
totally.
because the city, people, the way transplanting in cities works, and the way community online, it goes back to the idea of what an online community can be and
Mhm.
what it becomes, like,
Without a doubt.
completely.
Without a doubt. And I feel that's such a cool thing to explore in rap music, because I feel not a lot of people are really exploring that to begin with. You know what I mean? And it's one of those
Mm.
things that we're like actively living through. And I think making art, making shit, even just talking about it to begin with is extremely important, and kind of adds context. Like we were talking a little bit before, like we're all old heads, quote unquote. Like we see a lot of these young kids on the Discord servers talking fucking crazy, and it's like, yo, like y'all need to chill the fuck out and like actually kind of get back in touch with reality, all things considered, right? And like I think having this art that explores those concepts is so like it's important. It's important. You know what I mean? So yeah, yeah, totally. Um we got tiny bit sidetracked, but I love that. Um
I honestly heard three things in what you were saying that I could have just jumped on, but I'm
yeah,
trying to not. I know you got
You said
questions. I
the
for
don't
sure,
want
for
to
sure.
jump on everything.
Low key, we're gonna circle back to that though, because I want to
Okay.
talk just about like
Okay.
the fucking like album itself, but then I kind of want to get into more like the philosophy behind it, because it is one of those records you can tell there is like remarkable amount of intent and reading and like praxis
Thank you.
put into
Thank
it.
you.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate that.
Totally.
Praxis is a great word.
I I can't lie. I found out about that shit like
Word.
fucking 6 months ago. Every
Let's
other
go.
verse I'm talking about praxis, bro. Like
Praxis is a fucking great word.
totally, man. Totally. So getting into kind of the overall of it, the project itself has like a jazzy, soulful rap feel for that like first kind of half. And then the second half gets into a little bit more like still within that same kind of realm, but a little like darker and a little more like aggressive is the wrong word, but you know what I'm trying to say, like more like kind of over encompassing kind of feeling. Um, what was the intent of the atmosphere you guys were trying to create with this thing? Did you originally know that you wanted to have like the two sections, or did it just kind of happen naturally?
Yeah, for me, I definitely think it kind of happened naturally. I think it
Mhm,
kind of has a lot to do with the way I make beats, like
mhm,
that whatever I'm feeling that day, like I set my intention when I go and make music. And if I'm having like a day where I'm feeling hopeless, like I'm gonna make something hopeless. Like if I have a
mhm,
day that I'm feeling like optimistic, I'm gonna try and make something that feels positive. And I think in the same way, like Connie contains multitudes as well, where there are points in the record where like Connie is like kind of not. I don't want to say you're doing like a Mac Miller impression, but you're definitely like you're hitting the sing songs. I can hear the smile like when you're rapping, and there are other songs like Rattlesnake, like the beginning of the outro,
Yeah.
that I can feel your frustration on the rapping. And so I just think it kind of came naturally just because of the ups and downs of life. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
and a lot
totally.
of the album is about like being alive in 2025 at the time that we were making it, you know? So, yeah, I think it has a lot to do with just
The ever
the ups and
sprawling
downs of life.
fucking,
Yeah.
yeah, this ever fucking shifting wild thing we find ourselves in called life, right? And
For
that's
sure.
what's really cool about the record too, because it does feel kind of journalistic in a sense, where it really does kind of feel like a snapshot of, obviously I feel the raps tend to have a more like not personal effect, but more relatability because it's language, you know what I mean? But even in the production too, like hearing you say that makes a lot of sense. Like you was probably having the fucking time of your life making the beat for Guide, and you were probably fighting for your fucking life making like aerials, you know what I mean? Like yeah. And like
Guide's an interesting one because I was talking about like setting intention, and like
mhm,
Guide was one of those beats where I woke up and I went to work and I was having like one of the worst days ever,
word.
and like I told myself like I'm gonna make a beat that just makes me feel happy like at
Yeah.
any cost, and I found that sample. It's some
Hold
South
on.
African gospel singer or
Okay, sweet.
something, but.
I have a rule against no sample snitching on this show. Do
Oh
not
no! Well,
allegedly.
some of them
So
I'm okay. Some of them I'm okay with giving up tea. It's a pretty easy record to
okay, right.
find. So on that one, a lot of them I won't talk about, but
Sweet, sweet.
um, yeah,
That's
I
crazy.
appreciate the Nick Craven attitude about
Trust
sample snitching. So
Trust me, bro. Especially like we were talking a little bit about Spotify, bro. Them motherfuckers partnered with Who Sampled. We got fucking digital ops ready to fucking snipe.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? Word. That's crazy. I think that's the song that I've been listening to the most. One, due to accessibility, like it's already out on DSPs and all that. But that song is so crazy because it really does feel like kind of a rosary in that sense, where it's something to hold on to in these tumultuous times, and it's something that does kind of happiness and persistence at all costs. You know what I mean? Fucking absence and persistence, baby.
Yeah,
Fucking full circle, baby.
I
Sorry.
I
Sorry.
I think it's very. I don't know if this is the right word, but I
Mhm.
feel like it's almost disaffected from a lot of the rest of the album
I can agree with
because
that.
it is it like it is the one like I like a good song about friendship.
Mhm.
I feel like when you make an album and you're talking about friendship, usually you will talk about friendship throughout the whole thing. I
Yeah.
talk about friendship once, I talk about partnership once. Like, and
Mhm.
that's it. Like, and I feel like Guide gets at a really feel good moment, and that's why it's such an important track in the album because like
Yeah.
you're gonna feel real like that afloat is like hope, and then blues takes you and it kind of gives you this meta look over the album, what the album's
Mhm.
going to be
Mhm.
about, and then we give you a feel good, and then we just drop off at father, everything's worse
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
favors. Like these are the things we hold on to in life, these are the things that help us persist, but there's a
Mhm.
lot more being pushed in front of us right now that is
Mhm.
not good, that is not
Totally.
good.
I mean, fuck, man. You look outside and like, bro, people are being gunned down in the streets by fascist militias. You look across the world and it's like kids are being like, how could you not feel that dread?
30,000 killed
Mhm.
in Iran. And I think there's a really interesting. So my friend's a PhD candidate at Indiana Bloomington, and I
Mhm.
get to sit down with him every 2 or 3 months and kind of talk history, kind of talk what his idea or what his perspective on things is. And it's really great having a historian being able to kind of fill me in on how things really look because
Mhm.
he's
Mhm.
he's, he's studied, he's studied, he's really studied. And we talk about things like the idea that society is actually better off than it ever was because people are always fed. But he didn't agree on that statement because he said that's just not we live in the context of our times, and things don't aren't just better because we're well fed, like being famines led to riots leading to change. We can't experience famines now in America because the supply chains are so complex that they will work, and that's used as a tool to actually keep us down.
Yeah,
So
totally.
things like that, in terms of this album and linking to that, it's like a lot of conundrums we're facing right now, going back to like the internet, the community that we find on Twitter, the community that we find on Instagram is also the same grounds that breeds a lot of hate. I wrote like a paper in college on like I had a focus studies class and I was told to create my own monster after we studied the folklore and mythology of monsters.
Oh,
And
hell yeah.
I had to research like what gets the most traction on social media. And obviously people know this isn't unknown, but the thing that gets the most traction on social media is always going to be hate. It's going to be
Yeah.
negativity, like a lack of vibes. Um, it creates more value and more incentive for people to jump
Yeah.
onto. And so there's this conundrum where our eyes go towards the thing that is more potent, and the thing that's more potent is more dangerous.
Yeah,
And
totally. And that's a
yeah,
slippery fucking slope too, because it's like, it's one of those things where like no matter what way you look, you open up Twitter, you're gonna see niggas talking crazy. You're gonna see slurs being thrown at each other. And it's like the idea of not being able to look away from a car crash, right? Like of course that's gonna draw attraction. It's interesting. It engages us, right? And yeah, yeah. It's
absolutely.
it's wild because these really are the things that you guys are exploring on this joint. And like, yeah, yeah, it's fucking wild, dude. Um, not to derail, but relatively getting back just on like a few other things. I know you guys have worked very closely together in the past. I don't want to dox you guys, but obviously you live in the same city, same general area. What was the first time that you two linked up as musicians and decided to make music together?
Wait. Before Kev answer
Yeah.
this, we need to do something you haven't done on this show before when you have
Oh
guests.
shit.
Hey, Kev, put your left hand out there right now, okay?
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna meet in the middle, okay? We're gonna meet in the middle. We're gonna dap each other up.
Hold on. Wait. Let me
Yeah.
let me get the fucking. I'm gonna break the fucking screen for a little bit. Yeah, there we go.
We gotta wait, Paprika. You gotta get out of here for a second, babe. All right, you ready, Kev? On three, we're gonna meet. This is where you meet. Okay, you're meeting here on three. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One, and then. Hey, you have to, Stilo. You have
Yeah.
to make the dap sound. You have to make the perfect dap sound on three. Okay.
Bet.
1, 2, 3.
Beautiful.
All
Beautiful.
right. Thank
It
you.
looks so scuffed on my computer. But
Bro, Connie is giving me. I keep doxing you, Connie Roses. But Connie Roses has given me a lot of incredible opportunities to make music, the music I want to make, to perform live, to do all this kind of stuff. The one thing that I'll never get over is Connie Roses will always put me in a position where I have to do a perfect dab in front of a massive crowd that he has gathered. Because he's such a popular musician.
Totally.
And it's the most stressful thing of all time. So thanks for recreating that here, Crow.
Yeah.
I'm
honor.
always gonna be grateful for that.
Totally.
Course,
that's fucking
of
brilliant,
course.
man. Something tells me you guys have been friends for a long time before this music shit.
We really haven't. The first time I met Connie was outside of a Homeboy Sandman show at a little club here in Pittsburgh. There was this tall dude standing outside, and I was probably going to smoke or something like that. And we had I'd been made aware of Connie by a friend of mine from Discord who had made a song for him. And so we started chatting. He introduced himself as Connie Roses. I brought up our mutual friend from Discord.
Hell yeah.
And then we really hadn't like talked to each other outside of that. Really, I'd seen him make music. We were both involved in the same rap beef at one point in time.
Fun. Right on.
Yeah.
And you'd reach out to me about using the beat that became blues.
Whoa, okay.
Then we started you had this Connie had this performance coming up that he wanted a live band for, and you mentioned the Sunday Scaries Volume 1. I also do like DJing sometimes, so that's a DJ set that I had put out, and Connie had asked me if I would be the DJ for the live set, and then it turned out I have been in bands, like in jam bands and stuff, doing jazz stuff like that. So I ended up playing guitar, and it would we do like three of those shows, like three shows with the full band.
Yep.
And then basically through that is how we kind of became friends and just started hanging out and making music together.
Fuck yeah. Right on. Oh, that's really, really cool. So this all must have happened within the last couple of years then, I'd imagine.
Last 7 months.
Fucking A, that's wild. Look at
Yeah,
that.
when we do that first, like, when was Bang 3?
Bang 3 was June. It was June, I think.
So yeah, like probably April last year is when we started like talking about doing this. We did that first show. Then we did your big show at the Ginger Beer spot. Which is still like to me like one of the highlights of like the last like 10 or 15 years to me was like we packed out the Ginger Beer Brewery and we played all Connie songs with a live band. It was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that
we
sounds fucking killer, man.
If you've listened to Live from Space, Mac Miller, we did some of the internet shit live. It was really sick. We hope to do that again. Actually, this new show we have coming up. All right, so the way I am, if you've heard our relationship, the reason that happened in 7 months is because like I'm not a manic person per se. I'm not a person with bipolar. Like I'm not gonna speak ill on like I'm not gonna use those terms.
Yeah.
And let the and infiltrate those terms as someone who contains them. I don't, but I will say I am really fast paced, obnoxiously fast paced, and like I want to keep getting things done. I want to keep putting things out. I want to do things. I drop like 8 texts to Kev a day, and if Kev is like, "Yo, gotta stop," I'm like, "Okay, I understand. I gotta chill out." But our relationship has been cultivated by like this love for music, this want to this drive to put it out, this drive to build community. We have built like a community, and we have more friends because of working together, working music. And there's a dire need for like some really good hip hop in Pittsburgh. There's a lot of hip hop in Pittsburgh, but I will say that like we have been able to like pull an audience based on some hip hop that's been missing from Pittsburgh. But back to like what Kev was saying about like the shows we put on are very jammy based, very internet inspired. We love I love the breadth of what we do. This album's weird, this album's abstract. So if anyone's in the Pittsburgh region watching this, or you're even from New York City, or you're from Cleveland or some shit, and you want to come to that release show, we're gonna have a theremin player and we're gonna have a vibes player. So vibes like kind of like we're gonna have a vibes and a theremin player on with us to play the album. So we want to, it's always about enhancing the mood. We want to take we want to take things to that next level. There should always be a musicianship behind the music when you play it. I think people in Pittsburgh love their instruments, so you have to include instruments when you play in Pittsburgh. It's just the way it is. Yes, always.
Yeah, it's also like it's also like we always want to take an opportunity to expand what we're saying in like a visual way, and I think that's why we spend so much time on the music videos, on the on the live performances, on the stage design when we like perform places. Like, we never just want to show up and it's just like, oh, Connie Rose is gonna do some songs. It's like this is a presentation of what we have to say right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Totally.
yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's ill. That's ill as fuck.
Talk about what we did for Wraparound Robin, Kev. 'Cause you set that up.
Yeah, we did this really cool event called Wraparound Robin, and essentially it was like 4 MCs. Um, there was like a battle rapper, Reason, who shout out Reason. Reason's awesome.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
played with like a live like NPC type of kid. There was like a rapper from Uniontown who had this real like Kendrick Lamar kind of flow, and then our good homie Goots performed as well. And it was in this like big open space, and the premise was each of us was in a different corner, and we each performed like one song at a time. And after you finish your song, the lights and the sound switch, and it goes to the next performer.
Oh, that's sick.
So every like what was really cool about it was like the room kept moving, right? Like the
Yeah.
attention would be on us, and then we would finish, and people would like move to the sound, like where it is next, and like just keep following along. And like it was going to be the first time we were performing songs from the album Absence and Persistence, and so I just like called Crow like 30 minutes before we had to be there to sound check, and I was like, should we have a stage or something? I feel like we need like some sort of presentation. So we just grabbed like a ton of shit, right? And like essentially what it felt like we did is we kind of recreated my little bedroom studio kind of in the corner of this room. So it like, and everybody else, they were like kind of standing in front of their speakers. They might have had like a laptop, or the one guy was doing the finger drumming, and that was sick. But for us, like we were able to kind of cultivate like a feeling by doing that. And I think we always want to make sure that whatever we're doing in music, it's more than music. It's I don't know. I'm like,
Multi-contextual.
and then this is another like kind of corny like kind of part of me, but I'm a huge Fish fan. Like I've seen Fish a bunch of times. Like, and when you go to see Fish, like my favorite experience seeing Fish is like in Atlantic City on the beach. Like they perform on the beach in Atlantic City,
Yeah.
and normally like when you do those shows, like everybody's in line on the boardwalk, right? And then you give your ticket and you go into the venue. Like for Fish, they make you go under the boardwalk, and they do tickets and security under the boardwalk.
Hell
And
yeah.
when you come out on the other side, like you're brought into this like carnival style atmosphere with like vendors and dancers and acrobatics and food
Yeah.
trucks, and like people bring floaties and like wade in the water. Like it's about an experience, and like that's one thing I've taken from like my jam band kind of roots to bring to like what we're doing right now and what I'm gonna continue to do in the future, which is just like make good records and create experiences.
Fuck yeah, dude. Oh, that's sick. That's fucking sick. I'm a big live music guy. I would fucking kill to be at one of your guys' shows. That sounds so fucking cool. Oh, that's fucking yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We'll get you out, man. We'll come up to
We'll come
Toronto.
up to Toronto. We'll do that.
Yo, when y'all are
We'll get
bro,
icy.
swear to God, if y'all ever want to make some shit happen here, I have a few connects at a few like low key kind of venues. We'll get some shit going, bro. For fucking sure.
We will be you will be marking us in the calendar this year.
Yeah, 100%.
There's no doubt about
100%.
that.
Say no
For
more,
sure.
bro. Say
sure.
no more. I'm excited about that. Actually, we'll talk about that. Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. And it's really cool that there's like kind of this whole ecosystem around the music and around the scene as well. And like this album kind of being a product of that is like fucking sick too. You know what I mean? Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Cause the homie Gootse or Goutse?
Goots.
Yeah, the homie Goots. I'd imagine he's kind of involved in this whole scene as well. And like a lot of the people that you collaborate with, like, correct me if I'm wrong, Brain Orchestra, who's also a feature on this record, is also relatively geographically close to you, right?
Yes, he's a Baltimore. Well, all right. So he's a Jersey City rapper who moved
Yeah.
to Baltimore, got really close with the Baltimore scene. He's back in Jersey City, but he's close with like this dude NASA that went to Pitt,
Yeah.
and NASA has connects with like John Wells who lives in Baltimore, and then that whole Baltimore scene is like Nourished by Time is from Baltimore. Like that whole
Yeah.
Baltimore
Yeah.
scene was very. I don't talk about this a lot other
Yeah.
than with Kev, that Baltimore scene is very influential to this album to me.
Okay.
And
Right on.
and like the Midwest is very influential to the album to me, but essentially Baltimore, because I think what the rappers in Baltimore are doing is like so sick. I love the stories they're telling.
Yeah. Totally.
I love the approach they take. It's very visceral. Any Baltimore rapper is going to include a sense of wisdom, a sense of vulnerability. Things they've seen in their life. They're gonna paint a picture. It's very much '90s Brooklyn Queens style, but it's like in new age, and it's just a lovely sound. So shout out everyone from
Yeah.
Baltimore. I
For
think
real.
if you haven't listened to Baltimore, go check out NASA, go check out John Wells, go check out Brain Orchestra, even though he's
Yeah.
back in Jersey City. Like that scene is
Crazy.
formative for hip hop right now, and I don't think enough people know about it.
I can
And also go check out like Turnstile, obviously. Like go check
Yeah.
out
Turnstile's so
End
good.
It. Like the
Yeah.
biggest hardcore bands on the planet right now. Trapped Under Ice, like Angel Dust. The biggest hardcore bands in the world are coming out of Baltimore.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
It's the place.
yeah, Connie often will say this is a Baltimore-based record.
Yeah. Right on.
It's definitely inspired. Like we both have like a love for Baltimore, I think. And I had some of the best Thai fried chicken that I've ever had in my life in
Fuck
like
yeah.
literally the back alley of a kitchen, like in Baltimore. Yeah,
Hell
you
yeah.
gotta go.
That's the best kind of eats, if I'm being real. Just in obscure ass locations. Like, yeah, totally. Totally. Oh, fuck yeah. That's so fucking cool. That's so cool. And like, it's one of those things where I feel, all things considered, I've been a hip hop head for most of my life, but now I'm kind of really realizing the importance of like geographical locations and how those scenes kind of emerge, how those sounds kind of evolve. And 100%, like there was a Brain Orchestra joint from 2 years ago, I want to say, that was kind of my first exposure to his work as well. And then kind of going through that network and seeing that, like, it's fucking bananas, dude. Like, it's fucking bananas, man.
Absolutely.
I guess that kind of relatively segues with the collaborations that you have on this. Only 3 features. We got Teller Banks, Brain Orchestra, and Goots. How did each of those come about?
I mean, like, I'll start with Teller Banks and Brain Orchestra. Like, Brain Orchestra and Teller Banks simply came about because I liked their music. They're friendly people. They work with budgets. They understand artists. They aren't douchebags. Like, they want to share the love. They're patient. They're great writers. They have good tones, good flows. They're original. They're hard workers. I think I saw all that in them. And I see this in Goots too, but Goots is our friend, so I'll speak on Goots in a moment. But like they are at the end of the core of them is they are good people. And even though I'm not like homies with them because I've never chopped it up, I've never been able to sit down. Like their raps, their personalities, their whole aura fit very well on this album, and I think their verses brought to life a lot of character that I couldn't bring. I think Teller Banks has an amazing vocal tone. I think it's very strange. I think it's very like his vocal tone when people get to hear blues and they hear him come on, he goes duh duh, and his voice is strange. It's beautiful. And Brain Orchestra has a super swaggy ass verse on Stars and Stripes. It's very contradictory towards me. Like when I think of like rap being such a cool fucking art form, it's like you can feature a verse on a tape and your verse doesn't have to really be it doesn't have to tonally be the same,
Totally.
but the content could be mixed in there. I think it's intercontextual. Like Brain Orchestra. I rap Stars and Stripes is a song simply about all these things I notice are going wrong with America, coming from whether it's my relationship with my father or it's my relationship with the government. And then
Mhm.
Brain Orchestra, it comes in and he's like, I'm eating Mandarin chicken, speaking Mandarin.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
crazy shit. Like that's a beauty. So, I know I want a Brain Orchestra to do that on the tape. I want a Brain
Mhm.
Orchestra to come in, drop a verse. It's Brain Orchestra, no one else. Max amount of swag. I
Yeah.
cannot admit that much swag. My swag is like 77%. His swag is 100%. I need 100% swag on this track right now.
Type shit. Type
So
shit.
that's kind of the idea going into them. And then Goots is like a homie that I originally had on Scythe for my tape, what we had to offer too. And
Mhm.
he's so bar for bar, Goots is my best rapper in this city. Like
Yeah.
I'm a great rapper and I know a lot of great rappers in the city, but he's
Goots is nuts.
miles, I think he really is miles ahead of anyone here because and he's gonna be like, you were glazing me. Well, because he's like a kept down to earth, like close
Yeah.
kept
Yeah.
person, like. But he understands the faculty of what makes like he has like the same knowledge of music as like a Fonte would, where
Mhm.
his
Mhm.
where he's very personal in his writing. He's not too abstract. He's an amazing singer, and he has a very delicate understanding of cadence.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
when we made Guide, and Guide is this sweet, uplifting song,
Yeah.
and we needed more character to it. It just immediately was like, I gotta get Wes on this, Goots on this
Yeah.
because he just understands how to bring a very high level of intimacy to what he says. Like talking like you if whoever is listening to this like go back to Scythe, go to my Bandcamp, go listen to Scythe. I don't care if you
Mhm.
buy the album. I don't care if you don't listen to the album. I don't care if you don't hear one verse from me on that album. You need to
Yeah.
go back to Scythe and you need to find Goose's verse on that and you need to listen to it. It's a beautiful verse. There's just he has such an important artistic nature that I haven't really encountered before.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's just important to have him on there.
Totally, dude. And he fits like fucking beautifully on there. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
Like
It's
that's what I
amazing.
love so much about that track too, is it feels so like personal. You know what I mean? It really feels like
Mhm.
just shooting the shit with
Mhm.
the homies. And like I don't want to leak anything, but you also sent me a joint of you and Goots that the you remember the one I'm talking about? Bro, that shit is crazy, man. And like, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, totally.
Mhm. We have
It's
we have a collab tape. We have no date for it, but
yeah.
but I mean, and working as a team, me, Kevin, Wes,
Mhm.
me and Goots all have we're a team, right?
For sure.
We
For
plan
sure.
on doing a show together in like April as a three-piece. I have
Hell yeah.
ideas for what we could do. Okay, I have plenty of ideas in my head.
Hell
I
yeah.
want to make I want to make like I want to be I want to half be a rap group and a Daft Punk cover band. I don't know how they feel.
Word. Okay. Right on.
Yeah,
I'm in
yeah,
for
yeah.
that.
But three really talented people put them
Yeah.
together. They could do anything,
Totally.
anything.
Totally. Sheer Cure, is that joint that you sent me gonna be on that collab tape by chance?
Yeah. We have like 5 songs in the batch. We plan on
Hell yeah.
getting. He has to drop his album before we put out a collab tape together. But
Totally.
when he's getting ready to drop his album, we're gonna do the PR. We're gonna do
Yeah.
some videos, photo shoots, all that shit with
Tell
him.
him to hit my
Get
line
him
as well.
started.
Tell him to hit my line because I want to chop it
Yes,
up
yeah,
with
yeah,
that
yeah,
dude for sure.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
You'll love. I have a lot of his stuff on my drive. You'd
Sweet.
love a lot of
Sweet.
what he's doing.
Bro, I still have the one joint saved on my local files on my phone, and I be listening to it like quite often, actually. I'm not gonna lie. And it's the version that I put my little bullshit over as well, because I'm a low-key a narcissist, but that's neither here nor there, you know?
Your verse was great. Your verse was
That shit was
super
fire.
dope on that. I enjoyed that a lot. I mean that's a De La Soul track for
Yeah,
sure. Like
yeah.
that was the idea. But like Kev has a tape coming out this year too. I mean,
Oh, hell yeah.
like am I allowed to say the name of it?
You can say it. Yeah.
Okay. His tape Artie's gonna be dropping. I don't know, like 3, 4 months. You'll know. You'll tell me
Yeah.
when. But there's a ton of really fucking delicious beats on there.
Hell yeah.
And in just like with Goots and I, we have songs ready to go
Mhm,
over his
mhm.
beats as well. I already have lyrics written. I have ideas for it. Wes has ideas for it.
Oh, yeah,
Like the chemistry. Like I think Pittsburgh hip hop also has been missing a lot. Um, is
mhm.
like there should be more groups of people just making stuff together, like
Totally,
collaborating.
man. Totally.
People should just be working together more in the hip hop scene. It's a good thing, you know. Whether people are good, whether they're bad, a good hip hop scene is always going to thrive off having like your native tongues. Like
Yeah,
native
yeah.
tongues wasn't just popular. Native tongues didn't just happen. Native tongues was 3 to 4 years of work in the dirt and 20 different people all continually working together.
Mhm. Totally.
Pittsburgh can have that ecosystem. It just doesn't yet.
Yeah. Yet
I
is the
also
key
think we
word.
just have this like there's a little bit of nostalgia core around like rap groups like we were talking about before we started recording. Like
Mhm.
essential listening is stuff like Pro Era. It's stuff like Flatbush
Yeah.
Zombies. It's
ASAP
stuff
Mob.
like
You know what I
ASAP
mean?
Mob,
Duos,
Future.
like
Uh,
fucking. I mean, when's the last time we got someone at the level of Outcast or Black Star
Right.
or
Yeah.
when are we getting trios, duo? Like I like Party of Two, and this is no shade towards Party of Two, but like
Mhm.
at the end of the day, like um, let me
I
be
got
respectful.
I got some
At the end of the
nuanced opinions
day,
of them for sure.
music is definitely more derivative now than it used to be. And
Totally.
like when we think of groups, I think of some of the most natural, freshest stuff. Sorry to interrupt, Kev. I just like some
no, I agree with what you're saying, and it kind of gets back like to just kind of keep poking at the themes of the album a little bit. Like
Mhm.
it gets back to like a kind of Mark Fisher thing about how like any like new anything that comes out that's new or that's interesting or that's revolutionary, it becomes a brand. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It becomes a commodity to be copied and bought and sold.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
Black Lives Matter can go from being like a grassroots important movement to something you buy at Target. You know what I mean? And I
100%.
think
Mhm,
like
mhm.
kind of one thing we want to do is like not become that, right? To have like an alternative to that. And I think doing that requires community. And that's like an in-person community too. Like it's really dope to have homies on Discord and it's really dope to like know people from all across the world, but it's really important to like be out there, like to go to Goots's shows that he has. Like he'll come to our shows to like support like
Mhm.
other producers and artists and rappers and whoever. You know what I mean? Like if my homie has like a book reading, you know what I mean? I'm gonna try and
Yeah.
go. You know,
Show
it might be
face.
boring or whatever,
Support
but
it, right? But I think that's kind of what's lacking so much in like today's day and age, where I'm infinitely grateful for the online community. I owe pretty much my entire platform to that. But at the same time, a lot of people kind of forget the recipes and kind of forget that also being there in person and also being there to support your people in the flesh is just as, if not more important. You know what I mean? Because like, who the fuck would I be if I have, whatever I'm doing here, but I'm not showing love to artists in the Toronto underground? You know what I mean? Who are putting
Mhm.
that work in, who are doing that kind of shit. And like, yeah, totally, totally. I agree with you. And it really is one of those things where music, especially hip hop, I feel is kind of becoming, I don't know if commodified is the right word, but it really kind of is a product to like buy and sell and consume. Music as a whole, but I feel hip hop especially.
I've
And like,
heard, have you heard any of the discourse about like rap fatigue?
yes, yeah, totally.
So
And
I think rap fatigue, like one thing Connie and I talk about a lot is this idea. This guy Cory Doctorow
mhm,
wrote this really great book called Inshitification, and it's the idea that as platforms and as systems grow, they
mhm,
become worse over time, and it becomes harder and harder to fix them and make them better.
mhm,
So like yeah, it's enshittified. Like Spotify is an enshittified version of finding music. You might think you're finding like music, but you're just getting the music that the algorithm has prepared for you. So like I have like little cousins who I love who are talking to me about how they have like rap fatigue. And like all the rap music sounds the same to them now. And I'm like, did you listen to Earl Sweatshirt? Have you listened to Mike? Do
Yeah.
you know about like
All
these
at
other
10K.
artists? And
All at
they're like,
10K.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
they're just like listening to whatever Rap Caviar has.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I mean? And so
it's dangerous. It's dangerous because you lose out on so much of what makes hip hop excellent and what makes, you know what I mean? And yeah, I think, like, I always hate when people say like, oh, like rap music is the worst it's been. There's no good. Y'all just aren't fucking listening, bro. Because
2025 was one of the best years in a decade.
I can confidently say 2025 had been my favorite year for music ever. I can confidently say that. There was so much shit that came out that I adore. And yeah. To me, I think if people say that they're like, if they have rap fatigue, you're literally just not listening to the right stuff, in my opinion. Yeah, totally.
Agreed.
I also
Completely
think when we talk about like the enshittification of any kind of thing, I feel like irony plays a lot of a role in things being diminished. You know, like I think Ankith Woods is an extremely talented satirist and comedian and rapper. I think he's hilarious. I think he's exactly doing exactly what a punchline rapper should do. But he plays this role of like, I'm just this random normal suburban dude who's dropping these bars that are like Lil Wayne level tongue flicking fire bullshit out of nowhere. And while it's great, it's so unhinged with a sense of irony that it makes you take a step back, and it's like I guess this is kind of a backpacker perspective, but like, where's the full purpose coming from in music? And it's a little, I feel like I've been a little unfair to hip hop in this conversation because this happens with all genres, and it's a flow. Like pop music had a terrible time in the 2010s, and just recently, pop music has been really strong. I think pop music's been in some of its strongest years lately, but like specifically with irony and the use of humor. I've noticed like I've noticed like Drusky, for example. Like Drusky did his thing with Timothy Chalamet, and like some people go on there because they want to become
respect on the
popular.
name of the man. His name's Drewski, Connie.
Drewski, I'm sorry.
I know what you meant, though. I know.
Drewski.
But like, there's people going on there that think they're going to become popular rappers, or they're going to become musicians that are known because they're going to go viral, and they're just being used for irony. And while I think Drewski has a lot of funny stuff. Like, I think he's a very funny person, but as a comedian and as a utilizer of irony, like at some point you start pushing things negative. You start pushing the scale negatively because you are constantly lampooning real people, and you're lampooning what it means to have purpose as an artist and as a person who wants to chase things. I think it's important, and we see this with like Twitch streamers, FaZe, XQC. We see that. This is why I actually love Speed is a great streamer because he actually he's actually so removed from irony in so many situations. I think that's like very interesting. We don't see that, but I guess my point as a whole that stands is that the embedding of irony in not just hip hop culture, but pretty much everything we're seeing right now has led to a desensitization that like we talk about in the album, and like appearances only capture, like on Aerials, like one of the last lines is like appearances only capture pheasants. Like aesthetics are starting to be of no worth, even though we put all of our time into them.
Totally. Yeah. It's wild, man. It's wild. And it makes me laugh because a lot of people kind of listen to this podcast kind of in the background, and sometimes we'll be like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? All of the shit that we're talking about is talked about on this album. And like everything that totally. It's fucking wild, dude. We live in such a crazy fucking era, man. Like we are Ugh. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. And I
Yo, I
hope
can't wait for Stephen Miller and Christy Nome and all those fuckers to go down the pipe, bro. I'm so ready.
bro.
Fuck ICE. Hey, fuck the
Yeah,
government and fuck multiple administrations. Okay, fuck
totally,
this
totally.
administration, the one before, but like, I mean, I'm glad people are like outside taking real action.
Oh, totally, bro.
It's nice to
Totally.
see.
See, it's funny that I say this as a Canadian, but like, fucking, what it's Second Amendment, how you niggas can own their own guns and use them if they see fit. I think that's kind of important in this day and age. I'm not gonna get too political, but like, I'd rather have a gun than not in this day and age. You know what I mean? If you see my big fucking ethically ambiguous gay ass on roads, you know what I mean? Like, I would rather have. I digress.
Things get so freaky though, because like we've been talking about conundrums. Like the NRA it wants to investigate the NRA wants to investigate what the White House is doing. Like times like these, things just don't make sense in certain, like there's certain values that are just getting. It's almost like like every so often political parties start switching ideologies and they start taking aggressive fronts into maintaining those ideologies. Like the 60s was a good example of that. The 30s was a good example of that. The Restoration era was a good example of that. And watching it happen again is like, oh, disturbing things happen when these switches happen, when ideologies start shifting. Disturbing things in history are happening. Being at a front row seat has been very odd, especially when that front row seat is like right here.
Yeah, literally the first thing you see when like I've made a conscious effort to not go on my phone for the first hour or so that I'm asleep or awake rather, because you just see so much fuckery, just fucking instantly, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like it's psychologically damaging, bro. Like you mentioned on the record as well, like we are so desensitized to everything these days. You know what I mean? Like it's fucked. I see a video of a man being gunned down in the street by ICE, and like I don't really have a reaction to that anymore. Like, yes, it's tragic. Yes, it's horrible, but I see it and I'm like, well, 2026. That's not the reaction I should be having. You know what I mean? Like it's fucked, dude.
And like Jubilee, sorry, Kev, you go ahead.
Manufactured Consent by Noam Chomsky. You should read that. Everyone should read that. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I want to shout out Noam Chomsky anymore as a man. Just I gotta hope that maybe his car broke down for a long time or something. That's why he needed so many trips on a plane to different places. That's my hope. I doubt it. But yeah, like I don't know. The whole purpose of, and it's been longer than just like the most recent Trump administration. Like the whole purpose of the neoliberal project as it was is to create a sense of hopelessness. Like I'm a little bit older than you guys. You guys have been calling yourselves old heads. I'm 32. So like I'm old enough to remember like watching the news and trying to make sense of like, wait a minute, like, but we're gonna attack Afghanistan, but it was a bunch of Saudi Arabian guys who were paid by the Saudis to attack this building, and all of a sudden that ties back to this Pakistani guy who's like who like grew up in London. You know what I mean? Like it's just like I remember like it not making sense, and how quickly so many people in my life were able to just kind of like accept that this is what's happening, and if you're not behind it, like I don't know, like it's the same kind of I don't know, I don't want to get too about it, but like it's like where you're at with like, especially at that time where it was, if you didn't support the war, you were against the troops, right? It's like it's not that you're not, like it's not that you believe like that this war is unjust or this war is like uncaused for. It's that these people are putting their lives on the line and you're ungrateful, right? It's like a switching of the narrative that can happen very quickly. And that's why I think it's important to like stay grounded, like in reality. You know, it's very easy to slip into fantasies and video games and television shows and everything, it's really easy to just pretend like nothing is happening. But
Totally.
it's actually really important to be there when things are happening. Like you don't have to you don't have to go in the street. Like this is also like I don't want to rant too much about it, but I'm also like the reason that a lot of political protests in the past have been successful is because they're happening like in a like a state level, right? Like where you think about like the civil rights movement and like the sit-ins and stuff like that, right? The idea was for people to disrupt the state so much that the state had to reconsider like its opinion on or its stance on like certain things, right? Like what do you do when people don't care about your stance? Stephen Miller doesn't care about your stance. Like Christy Nome doesn't care about what you have to say about it, right? Like and so that's where I think in this day and age we're like kind of at a really weird impasse that hasn't really happened since like I don't know like Spain or like Russia and when the czars fell or something like that, right? Like it's a really interesting time in history and not the best way, but I don't know. Yeah, sorry, that's a tangent.
No, it's real shit though. It is real shit because I feel to be someone in this day and age, just like literally navigating through major historical events every fucking day of our lives, like there really is a choice that you need to make. It's either you're going to be willfully ignorant and keep yourself from being aware of these actual things, or realize how fucked everything is and actually like take a stance and actually like do something about it. You know what I mean? And like, of course, that goes kind of. There's a bit of nuance to that. You can't just immediately fucking fuck around and radicalize. You know what I mean? But like, it is one of those things. Like 9/11 is a perfect example where I would have been like 8 months old when 9/11 happened, right? And growing up, like as a Canadian too, someone who isn't really in the States, it's one of those ones that you hear where it's like, oh, like, Afghanistan, like, that's the enemy. Those are the dudes who bombed it. You do any research beyond just like surface level and beyond just like what you are being fed, what you're being told. And you kind of realize there's a lot of cracks in it. You know what I mean? Like one thing that really fucked me up growing up was finding out that like the Taliban was funded by the United States during the Cold War and armed by the United States during the Cold War. And then all of a sudden now there are ops. It's like, what do we like? It doesn't make sense, I had an overarching point to this, but I forget.
Really interesting. I don't know if you know about the Rambo movies.
Yes,
like Rambo, like there's a really interesting like Mandela effect, like kind of where when Rambo 3 played in theaters, they had like a little like roll in the beginning that said this film is in honor of the brave men and women of the Mujahideen. And then by the time it came out on DVD, they were like, actually, no,
we can't say this actually.
So they took it out, and so they're very like rare versions of the film, like the actual film that they would send to movie theaters to play, that has like that particular line in it.
Yeah. And like that's fucking crazy because that also kind of speaks on like censorship and you know what I mean? Like, It's wild, man. It's wild. And it's crazy too, because once again, if someone is just kind of casually listening to this interview, these are all things that are talked about on this fucking
in the album. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Hey, can I get us back to the album real fast? Can I tell like a quick story? Just like I liked what Connie had to say about Brain Orchestra in particular and the Brain Orchestra feature that it's very different. It's very braggadocious. It's like very like classic hip hop. And Connie had sent me a version of what he wanted that song to be, and it wasn't my beat. It was somebody else's beat. That we were gonna do the Brain Orchestra over, and I told him to give me like 20 minutes.
Well, that was
Like,
Zealous.
no, Zealous. This happened on Zealous too, but for
Oh,
Stars and
yeah.
Stripes didn't exist.
No, you're good. Yes, I remember this. I was at Noodlehead. I was eating Asian noodles. I was eating street noodles,
Right.
and you were like, "Give me 20." Continue though. Continue. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I
yeah.
was just like, give me 20 minutes. I found a sample. I made that beat and I sent it to you, and you were like, this is the one. And so that I do feel like that was my own kind of braggadocious like moment about it, where I was like, no, like if we're gonna get like Brain Orchestra on the album, like it's gonna be on my beat.
Totally.
And
Totally.
yeah, we're doing it.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, yeah. And like that is probably the craziest beat on there. Stars and Stripes is fucking nuts, dude. That shit is it's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love the
yeah.
little piano sample. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what my favorite beat.
I'm
Connie, what
looking
would
at the
you say
track
your
list.
favorite
It's
beat
crazy.
is?
I'm gonna say, oh, it's Father Father, because Father
Father is
Father is the
crazy.
weirdest one.
Yeah.
It's funny because Kev Kondracki does not hit, that was not a hitter for him at first. It was not a hitter
Word.
for him at first because I think that beat, the way that bass rolls around and it's really fat, and then the way you'll hear the guitar strings, it reminded me some shit that Pink Sifu would do,
Yes,
some shit
totally.
that King Cruel would do, some
Totally.
just really messy, atonal, lost in the fog type
Yeah.
shit. And I
Yeah.
thought, like, obviously that song's Father Father, like, you know what it's about,
Mhm.
and like I thought it was just a great texture to explore, like in a very abstract sense, what my relationship with my dad is.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, no, easily my favorite beat off the tape.
Yeah, that shit is
That's
nuts.
my least favorite one, for sure. But
Word.
the beat for Big Ugly Face and the beat for Father Father, I
Mhm.
made the same day. Um, I got the SP404 Mark II the day before. I
Mhm.
made one beat on it, and then the next day I made both of those beats, and I didn't even have the studio set up. I was like watching whatever reality television show I was watching at the time, and like had it on my kitchen table and or on my little like, I guess it's like my kitchen table, like the little
Yeah.
high top that I'm sitting on right now. And
Type shit.
I just made those two beats like back to back. And so for me, those were like practice. Those were like, I'm trying to figure out this new machine.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm really glad they turned out the way they did. They've both grown on me a lot now, especially Big Ugly Face. Like,
Big Ogie Face is fucking crazy. That is such a crazy song, dude. Yeah. Sheer curiosity, were most of these beats made on the 404 or were they made digitally?
yeah, Guide is the last beat I made before I got the 404.
Word. Okay. Yeah.
So um, Blues, Blues is the beat off a little beat tape I put out called
Changes.
Changes.
Mhm.
Um,
Yes. Yes. You're right.
and yeah, so that beat I made on there. There's an even earlier version on my Instagram story.
Mhm.
I'd been working on that beat for years. Like,
Word.
I knew that sample was perfect. I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it, and I just didn't have the skills to do it. And then
Yeah.
when Changes was out, I was happy with how that sounded. Um, but with Changes, I was really exploring more of like a knowledge,
Mhm. Mhm.
um, kind of like Flying Lotus sort of
Totally.
sound.
Totally.
And as I moved like away from that, I felt like my production changed. I feel like if I pulled up the sample to um, that sample and I made it on the 404, like it would sound totally different now
Yeah.
too. Even like,
Yeah. Fuck, man. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, that's really cool. I'm a big production nerd, so hearing this kind of shit, I'm just like, fuck yeah, dude. Right on. Right on. Yeah, it's nuts, man. Like, it's nuts. I cannot say enough, like, how fucking cool this album is, man. Like, you guys went fucking crazy on this thing, dude. Yeah. Yeah. It's dope. It's so fucking dope. I guess relatively wrapping up. I always kind of like asking meta kind of heady questions. What are the both of you the most proud about for this record?
I think um I think really it's like the fact that we went through the entire process and didn't drop it at any point, we never thought like
Oh, this isn't
it's
it.
just a musician thing. Oh, we never thought like, this is just not happening, or
Mhm.
oh, we'll do it another time, or we could put that off. I was really proud that we were both able to come to the table and be like, let's make a tape with a, we made like 3 songs before it was like, okay, let's make a tape with a philosophical spin. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
let's continue. Okay, oh, we have 7 songs. Oh, we have 8. Oh, we have 9 songs. Oh, we have 10 songs. And then I was just proud that we were like, stop right here. This is the project. It's 10 songs.
Mhm.
Now we're going to put all the other packaging together and
Yeah.
we're going to do this, So I'm just really proud that we were able to not just put out a tape together, but really put out an album.
Totally.
This is an album. This is a thing that can be digested multiple times
Mhm.
and
Full
and
cohesive body of work.
yes, and people
Totally.
are going to be able to loop back. So that's definitely what I'm most proud of.
Right on. Right on. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel similarly just about the music in general. I'm really happy with the way we work together. Connie is like crazy fast, which is wild. I feel like I can send him a beat and I'll have a demo in a couple of hours, and then I'll have like a final version like the next day or something like
Oh
that.
yeah.
That's like
Right on.
the first time I ever worked with someone who was like that. I guess like really at the end of the day, what I'm most proud of is the friendship that I've built with Connie. Like I just think he's a really good dude. He's really good
Oh yeah.
people. He has just been the dude I can't imagine not knowing now, and didn't really know him that well, like less than a year ago. Yeah, so just makes me happy, like we'll go get beers sometimes, or just like sometimes we come over to work here. We don't even really work. Like I just
Mhm.
force him to watch whatever garbage reality television programming I'm consuming at the time and just talk shit. Yeah.
Totally, man. Totally. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Because it's one of those things I really thought y'all would have been like homies of like 5 years plus, like low key. So yeah, fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Um, Next thing is, what do you hope listeners feel or take away from this album after listening to it front to back, whether that be one time, multiple times? What do you hope people take away from it, just in general?
I think I think the most the thing I just want people to take away is like did you relate in a way, or did you find something in the album that was visceral for you? Did you feel
Mhm.
something that was fresh and new? Oh, I've never really heard that combo of a beat and
Yeah.
lyrics before. Oh, his story, like, their story as a whole, because it's not just my story, even though, like, sure, I'm spitting the lyrics, but, like,
Mhm.
the mood and the tone is all conveyed by Kev. Like,
Totally.
oh, the story they told was them. The feeling was Pittsburgh. The energy they brought was something I haven't heard before. And it doesn't need to be haven't heard before as in we're the next Death Grips or some
Mhm.
bullshit, or we're the next JPEG. But instead just like, this is something I too in my 20s, in my early 30s, I'm really going through it right now, and
Mhm.
and I'm glad someone else was able to kind of convey this message. Stories where their family has brought them new understandings in bad ways, or
Totally.
stories
Totally.
where they're confused by what's happening in this country and they want to take action, and now they have to formulate stories about being a person who did your friends wrong multiple times, and then you finally figure it out as you're growing up. Those are stories that are told again and again and again, but hopefully there's a refreshing new spin on what's been done before. There's a new context for it.
Totally. Totally. Yeah. And yeah, totally. Like listening to Father, like, bro, like, damn, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, mission success with that for fucking sure. Yeah. And Kev, if you have same kind of answer.
Yeah. I hope people feel seen. Um I I just think it's so easy to convince yourself like you're fucking crazy. Like you're not fucking crazy. Like everything is awful.
Mhm,
Like
mhm.
everything, like food is tasting worse. Like everything's more expensive. Everything's more tiresome. The
Yeah,
days are getting shorter. You're getting older. I hope it empowers people. Um,
mhm,
and I hope that uh, on like a more selfish note, maybe like I'd like to have it seen that like I can make a album with an artist that's curated to that artist for them to say something
totally.
like that. Like the Alchemist always, he's like one of my biggest inspirations always,
Mhm,
and he has a comment he said like one time about how like he doesn't like if the artist or if the artist is like a painter,
mhm.
like he builds the canvas. Like
Yes,
he's not
yes.
like making the background. Like I'm putting the shape together and I'm giving it to you for you to say what you have to say on it. And
Mhm.
I'd like any other like artist who listens to this to feel like I'm the kind of person who can do that.
Totally, totally. Yeah. And like as this being my first like exposure to your work, like not only mission accomplished, but also you're fucking crazy. So like hell yeah, dude. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
He's crazy. He's
I know
crazy.
you said you checked it out a little bit in the beginning, but
Mhm,
like Changes for me was a really big record because like I was moving, I was going through a breakup, I was
mhm,
like having a really tough time, and I made a lot of songs in the process of change. And then the first time I really like worked on a project, what like that was supposed to be a statement was Madman,
mhm,
um,
mhm.
which is like a collection of beats I made, like with a sample of do you know Coast to Coast FM? Or
Yes.
Coast to Coast AM or whatever it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
It was like a late night talk show, and it's an interview with this like 21-year-old kid who said that he built a time machine, and
Yes. Yes.
he
Yes.
did like 3 or 4 interviews on this podcast. So it's all like put together from that, and that's really when I started to explore like time and the impact of time on people.
Yeah.
And I think this record is really the same kind of a thing, like uh, making a statement about the time that we live in. And yeah, anyway, I
Totally.
appreciate your kind words. I cut you off before you said too many of them, but
Of course, bro. To me, like I live and die for this hip hop shit. I really do breathe this hip hop shit. And like y'all are making some dope fucking contributions to it. And like fuck yeah, dude. Like that's what it's about, man. Fuck yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Most definitely, bro. Most definitely. And once again, thank you so much for sending me this as early as you did. Like, it's gonna be one of those. I always like being able to like quote tweet an announcement tweet and be like, "Y'all niggas ain't ready for this one, man." Like, you know what I mean? Like that. I love doing that shit. Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Um, I guess that's pretty much all I really wanted to talk about, all things considered. For listeners of this podcast, tap in with Connie, tap in with Kev, links in the fucking description, Bandcamp, fucking social media, all that shit down below. Tap the fuck
Hit
in.
me if you have beats. I
Type
will get
shit.
in the studio and I will try to get you a
Bro,
verse. Okay. I'm
I
sorry, gloves. I'm sorry, Andy. I know you're waiting on me. I will be dropping shit. If you, I just want to work with you. So if you
yo,
like the music, please.
Gloves has been waiting on like 6 verses of mine for half a year. Same with Andy. Andy, like, I know y'all are listening. I'm sorry. Like, listen. So, yeah, type shit. Type shit. But yeah, super fucking real. Super, super real. Absence and Persistence will be out on the 17th of February, correct?
Correct.
17th of
Correct.
February, Absence and Persistence.
Big ugly face this Friday.
Big ugly face this Friday. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I don't know when the fuck this episode's gonna go up, but Big Ugly Face might be out now or
this will
might
be
be
on
coming out.
streaming platforms January 30th.
Type shit.
So if it's after January 30th, it's
Yeah,
already on there. Go listen to it.
absolutely.
Boom!
Absolutely. Bing, bam,
Boom!
bow. 3 fucking big booms, baby. Any last shouts you want to give? Anything you guys want to talk about before we wrap this shit up?
Shout out you for having us on. I appreciate it a lot. It means a lot to like have an actual like as an indie artist getting started, it means a lot to have someone actually listen to what we want to say about a tape. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure is all mine, bro. Like genuinely, like I live and breathe this shit, like real life. Like this is what's keeping me sane and what's keeping me grounded. So pleasure is all mine, bro, for real. Thank you. And yo, thank you guys for coming on the show. Very happy to have this talk. This was one of my favorite ones that I've recorded, actually. I like this one a lot, quite a bit. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Love that.
Sick. I guess if we are rapping, I always like asking my guests to pick a song off of the album to play my little outro to.
Favors.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Float.
Ooh, I could go either way.
He'll be getting a video for a float. I feel like
you could do Favors. Yeah, I love Favors
For sure.
Favorite. Oh,
Flavors.
dude, we didn't even.
We didn't even get to talk about Favors. We didn't.
No.
Do we
Play
have
Favors
the
was a whole-
anecdote? They'll hear it.
You sure?
We could do a little epilogue. Like,
yeah.
Favors is a beat I made like 2 years ago, like a long time ago, like when I first got into making beats. And I was digging up some old stuff, just sending it to Connie to have some like last minute things. And my recording process back then was so bad that there's like an insanely loud like going through like on the original version of the song. It's just like a mechanical. It's like one of my analog delays, like just making noise in the background, and the song turned out great. It's basically exactly what he recorded on it, but the beat was awful, and I don't know how many times I remade it for you, Connie, and you were like, "No, this isn't right."
More flavors.
You're right. This isn't right. It doesn't sound the same. And I was like, "Okay, let me do another one."
And you said in the last one, you were like, "I'm not doing it."
I told him on the last one, I sent him the one that's on the album. I said, hey, this has to be perfect because I'm not making this beat again. This is not fun anymore. Not. I'm not having a good time. I was like,
that's really good.
And it turned out great. But yeah, Favors.
That's fucking incredible. Is that why it's track 4 as well? Because you made the beat 4 fucking times?
I think it just fell that way when we were deciding. We started calling it Flavors as like an inside joke.
Yeah.
Right. And then when you finally sent me the final version, I think it said Favors, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah, like what are we talking about?
That's the name of Flavors. Flavors.
That's my Mac Miller. That's my Mac Miller tribute. That's my Mac Miller rendition.
Yeah. Oh, that's fucking brilliant. Right on, dude. Okay, yeah. With that said, thank you guys for tapping into the Aux podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, all that shit. Fucking Absence and Persistence out February 17th. Tap the fuck in. The single's already out. Go tap in with the visuals. Tap in with the homies, man. Link in the description, all that shit. Peace, love, bless. Bada bing, bada boom. Let me run this shit. I'm a deafen for like 30 seconds because I'm lazy as fuck and I don't like editing my videos. So bear with me for a sec. You already know, man. Gang shit. Let me do this.